Moscow's continued interference in eastern Ukraine has fueled tensions with the West. But since taking office, Trump has pushed for improving U.S. relations with Russia, and he seems to have gotten some European leaders on board.
I think we must build a new model for security and trust in Europe. Because the European continent will never be stable and safe if we don't pacify and clarify our relationship with Russia. It's not in the interest of some of our allies, let's be clear about this. Some will always push to impose more sanctions. That's in their interest, even if they're our friends, but it's not in ours.
EU Council President Donald Tusk, a politician from Poland, criticized Trump on Saturday for suggesting that Russia should be invited to G7 meetings.
Today I will try to convince my interlocutors that it would be better to invite Ukraine, as a guest, of course, to the next G7 meeting to hear the opinion of the new president. I talked with him about it 2 days ago, and I know he would be very interested.
Britain also opposes Russia's readmittance. London's ties with Moscow plummeted following the 2018 chemical poisoning of a former Russian spy in England, a brazen act which Britain blames on the Kremlin. Macron said Russia cannot be readmitted into the group as a full member in view of its actions in Britain and Ukraine, but he said pushing it away from Europe is a strategic error which has led Moscow to build alliances elsewhere. He said France wants to change that, and it is prepared to act on its own if Russia meets key conditions regarding the conflict in Ukraine.
To put it simply, we are not a power that considers that our friends' enemies are necessarily our own or that we are forbidden to talk to them. And I think that's the strength of France.
Macron said representatives of Russia, Ukraine, Germany, and France will meet next month to discuss ways to peace in Ukraine. Trump's national security advisor John Bolton told Ukrainians Tuesday not to expect any solution from the Europeans anytime soon. During a visit to Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, Bolton said Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky should not rush into any action on eastern Ukraine. He also said President Trump might meet with Zelensky during a trip to Poland at the end of the week. Zlatica, Hoke, VOA News, Washington.